2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Detroit Pistons going up against the 76ers in Philadelphia. Taking a look at the 76ers, their record has fallen off the pace they set last season. No team wants to see that regression. They're looking to turn things around, and we'll see how they do tonight. And tonight, two offenses that like to score in the post. Shaq, defensively, how do you counteract that?
Two types of denying. Deny the position and deny the entry pass.
Yes.
Sounds like you're in a state of denial.
I deny everything you just said.
Is it just me? I thought that was funny.
But you know what the other thing you could do, Shaq? If you pressure the passer, what it does is then it allows the defender to have more time to get around on the defensive and provide.
You're lucky I didn't guard you in your career.
Oh, I would have went right by you.
You're lucky.
I would have hoped you pressured me.
Let's go to Kevin Harlan. It's time for the tip.
It's the home of the 76ers here in Philadelphia as 2K Sports brings you today's action live from the Wells Fargo Center. Thank you for being with us. 2K Sports brings you the NBA Live this Saturday afternoon broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got Steve Smith and Greg Anthony at the table with me. And the fourth member of our crew, David Aldridge, our sideline reporter. The 76ers hoping for a happy ending to close out their homestand before hitting the road. They haven't started out with the success they had hoped for, but the season obviously is still very young.
You know, this team is one that has obvious talent. I mean, you look at the roster and you expect them to be one of the better teams. And you know what? They've just been a little, disjointed here early in the season. But they are very capable of getting it going and still having a strong year.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, Ben Simmons grew up playing Australian rules football. It may be one reason he's so comfortable attacking defenses and creating. He said, you have to read the defenders, draw them, then get rid of it. Otherwise, you're going to get tackled. Well, that's a foul in the NBA, but I understand his sentiment. Guys?
And David, he is not shy about contact at all. Thanks. In the early part of the season, Steve, if the chemistry isn't working, what can you do to try to fix that chemistry issue?
You know, obviously the general manager and the coaches, this is where they have to be communicating amongst one another, and they have to have a great feel, because if it's not working, and this is where you have to look at maybe benching some guys or possibly trading somebody, but that's where communication comes in. You got to have it from management to coaching to players.
Players want to know, don't they? They don't want to be left in the dark. At least they want to know the lay of the land for it.
Most of the great organizations, the communication's out front, and that's what players love. They love the trust factor from management to coaches to organizations.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. The big men are Griffin and Drummond. Rose is out there with Kennard, and it's Snell in at the 3 spot. Now here's Rose. Shot clock at 6. Here's Drummond. The shot's good.
That's the right play to run. Drummond with the skill and size to make that high percentage attempt.
For 3, Richardson. Detroit with the rebound. Their last encounter was in Detroit.
And unfortunately for them, they just ran into a hot shooting team and really had no answers.
Well, they still should have been more active on defense, giving those guys a run for their money.
Yep, that one goes.
A top-notch postgame is just one of the ways Horford helps his team. One of the more important ways, though, is because he's a tough matchup down low.
Now here's Rose. A 17-point game for him in the win against the Nets in Brooklyn. Griffin down low, working on Horford. That shot by Griffin, no good.
I like the aggressive move on the layup attempt, but the defender, he just stayed right with him.
And the dunk by Embiid.
And guys, really admire how Simmons finds the open man consistently. The vision, the unselfishness. That's what you want to see out of him.
Fast break, here they come. shoots. Good. And Harris gets the assist.
You look at that lead pass there. He just has such a great feel for the game.
For Detroit, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Griffin passes to Kennard. Drummond with it. Now defended by Embiid. Here's Rose. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
This is why Derrick Rose is considered one of the best at his position. He is not afraid of going down low.
And unfortunately, injuries will always be the concern with Derrick Rose. Still loves the game of basketball, knows he is limited compared to what he once was. Amazing with all he's fought through, he can still perform at such a high level.
To the middle, here's Griffin, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
Great court awareness by Derrick Rose, reading every inch of the floor so well.
And Simmons kicks to Richardson. Back to Simmons. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Simmons got his second bucket of the game to go. And with Rose, as you said, his love of the game is still there. And he still wants to play.
I mean, many players would have just walked away from having their body betray him. But Rose said last season he loves what he gets to do and still would be a water boy if he had to. You have to admire Rose's attitude and approach in that regard.
So it's Philadelphia now. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Simmons inside. He's covered by Rose. That one misses. Lobbed up there for Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
I mean, tremendous body control in the air. Andre with the easy catch and flush.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play, sponsored by Under Armour Hover Habit. Here's Harris, and it's sent back by Drummond. Goes back up. Here's Kennard. He's coming off a 13-point game against Brooklyn. Rose against Simmons. Rose passes to Kennard. Outside for Griffin. 6 to shoot. Drains it from beyond the arc. Griffin's got 5.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Top of the key, Harris. Can they get it? And he knocks down the jumper.
The new head coach of Detroit is Dwayne Casey. They're lucky he was available. He guided the Raptors to a franchise best 59 wins last season, and he was the coach of the year.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. And it goes to show you that any coach can get fired. Casey, one of the most successful, highly regarded coaches in the league, and Smitty still got let go.
If you learn about all he's overcome, all the tough jobs he's worked in the past, you knew he'd take it on the chin and keep on trucking.
The 76ers will go for a different look here. Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Joel Embiid. Ennis comes in for Harris. Korkmaz checked in for Richardson. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Ben Simmons. Detroit also making some changes. Markieff Morris is checked in for Drummond. ABC comes in for Blake Griffin. And it's Jackson in for Tony Snell. Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Al Horford. Last year, getting it done. Averaged about 13 points a game, 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Solid numbers, the kind of production we expect. And frankly, I think he's got another level to take it to.
I totally agree. He has the IQ and the ability to take it up another level anytime he wants.
Three-pointer. Here's Monroe. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
Detroit making a switch here. Maker's checked in.
One shot.
Here's Kennard. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. He kicks to Morris. There's the pass to Jackson. And stolen by McConnell. Pass to Korkmaz. Back to McConnell. Passes to Korkmaz. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. Korkmaz has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Pistons trail by 3. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pass to Maker. Here's ABC. The pass to Morris. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to ABC. Shot to stop the run. That one, no good.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding you.
You know, there's no shame in passing out in that situation. Leave your ego at the door.
A nice first quarter of play. We've seen plenty of offense so far. 76ers lead by 3. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. Al Horford was born in the Dominican Republic, and he talked about why he gravitated towards basketball instead of baseball.
Coming from a place where, baseball is what's driven to us every time. I mean, I started playing baseball. I didn't play basketball. I started playing baseball, and, just watching my dad play basketball, I just fell in love with the game. But people were still telling me, they're like, nobody makes it out of here usually out of basketball. I mean, your dad was a very rare case, and I just believed in it.
Yep, wanted to follow in his father's footsteps.
And what a career. College championships at Florida, an all-star in the NBA. I think he made the right choice.
And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from the 76ers, what do you guys think?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Fun to watch. They give you no time to set up on defense, and we see that reflected in the score.
Monroe is out there with Horford, and it's Ennis, and it's T.J. McConnell, and it's Korkmaz in at the 2 spot. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia.
And that's the look this offense is designed to produce.
Always frustrating when you do everything right, yet just can't complete the play.
And he comes up with the deuce. Steve, we talk a lot about team defense, but who in your mind are some of the best on-ball defenders in the game now?
Kawhi Leonard is fantastic. Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart, Draymond Green does a nice job. Even Klay Thompson, he's asked to guard a whole bunch of different guys. The list goes on and on of guys being able to slide their feet without fouling. It's beautiful to watch.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Now, here is Morris. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. And there's a whistle that goes against Greg Monroe. That's his first foul. And the 76ers making a change here. Bikes is checked in. And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Passes it to ABC. Detroit, no good that time either. And it's McConnell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the 76ers. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. It didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you.
Luke Kennard, the 12th pick in the 2017 draft out of Duke, an outstanding shooter and has a lot more to show in his game.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Embiid, he's checked in for Monroe. Tobias Harris comes in for James Ennis, and it's Ben Simmons in for T.J. McConnell. On the free throw, no good. And Kennard Smitty went one pick in front of Rookie of the Year contender Donovan Mitchell. Some Piston fans ticked off about that.
Yeah, I understand. But he was top 20 in three-point percentage right out of the gates. It's not just about year one. I think Kennard has a chance to be good.
Here's ABC after Ben Simmons' bucket. ABC passes to Jackson. Here's Kennard. 5 to shoot, and Drummond throws it down.
The agile feet of Drummond. He's like a dancing bear out there. Nice roll off the pick.
Simmons finds Harris. Nails the 16-footer. Harris has got the lead up to 7 now for the 76ers.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
ABC passes to Kennard. Drummond up top, guarded by Embiid. Pass to Jackson. To the wing on the left. Here's Snell. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Snell's got his first bucket in this one. And Simmons kicks to Harris. To Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
This is where Tobias has really improved, keeping his eyes up, making plays for others.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Steve Tobias Harris with plenty of stops in his young NBA career so far. You wouldn't guess it, though, from his talent level.
Year after year, he advances his offensive arsenal. He's become one of the most dangerous scorers in the game.
They holler, put me on, son. Put me on, son. Put me on, son. Put me on, son. Yeah, we really got done. Put me on, son. 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 Yeah, we really got done.
Richardson, he's checked in for the 76ers. Then for the Pistons, Griffin comes in for ABC. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Kennard. Pistons trail by 7. Rose kicks to Griffin. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Drummond finds Jackson. Sinks the triple. Jackson's got himself on the board with 3 there.
You know, a little inconsistent from deep when he first entered the league. Jackson now an emerging three-point threat.
Down low, deflects the pass. Here's Simmons, and that one good. Simmons got 6 here in this quarter.
Mr. Dependable tonight, helping them grow this lead.
Inside, here's Jackson. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. That one on Embiid.
The strength and body control of Reggie Jackson gives him an edge against physical defense, potential and one.
That's good from Jackson. Smitty, you look at how teams run their offensive sets. Are we in a pick-and-roll era right now, or has the tide shifted away from that a little?
No, I think so. I think we're looking at a lot of teams running pick and roll, especially we have two fantastic players involved. It's hard to defend, especially when there's a great talent at the guard spot and a big, then it's hard for you to switch. But I'm looking at it right now because of spacing, because of the use of the corner three, we're looking at a lot more pick and rolls used at the top of the key versus when I played, we used a lot of side pick and rolls.
And not just smalls given to bigs, but bigs throwing down low to smalls.
Yeah, and a lot of these bigs are running the pick and rolls, and the guards are setting the picks.
Right. Tries it from 19.
Have to respect the effort on defense from Tony Snell, doing everything he can to alter the shot.
Whistle blows, basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
The Pistons shooting their third free throw attempt of the game. Al Horford, he's checked in for Dwight Bikes. One drops. He ties it up. Steve, the Pistons still one of the better defensive teams in the NBA, but wouldn't you say there is still room for improvement there?
Yeah, I think so, especially since Drummond is so young. He's the key, though. Also, Blake Griffin makes them a better rebounding team.
Now here's Simmons. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Clippers.
And it was not a one-man show. That was the best part. He had just as good a game with his passing as he did with his scoring.
You see Griffin keeping his eyes up, looking for a hole in that defense.
Richardson kicks to Simmons. Harris outside. It's Richardson on the wing. He's covered by Rose. To halt the run, and it's finished off by Richardson as he lays it in.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Jackson looking around. Now the dish to Drummond. Here's Snell, guarded by Harris. Snell, no good. Griffin against Harris. The pass to Richardson. Embiid inside, over Drummond, and that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter. And so it's tied as we head to halftime. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Derek, how's it feel to be back on the floor again?
It feels good, man, especially playing with my teammates. We have new teammates. We're just trying to come out here and just play hard and compete.
Good to see you back out here, Derek. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they trailed by was 5. They couldn't hold on to the slim lead they had at the start of the second quarter and headed into the locker room with the game all knotted up. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the 76ers?
They were strong in transition. Seemed like the guys fed off the higher tempo. Certainly, they definitely got the looks they wanted, playing an outstanding game. They can keep it up in the second half, they may wear the other side out.
Kenny, what'd you think about Detroit?
Well, I think to shoot a high percentage, your offense has to be in sync. And in the first half, those guys were sharing the basketball, playing for each other. Now it becomes a matter of being consistent at it.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
Welcome back, everyone, to Philadelphia. There's City Hall, an amazing building. Such a great part of this historic American city. We've got second-half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Ben Simmons really making a difference here.
And I just love how aggressive he is. Usually tries to work for the best shot that he can.
And that really tests the defense. It's hard to take the right angle on him to contest the shot.
Philadelphia shooting one of the high points for them in this game at 54%. And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. The athletic front pair is Griffin and Drummond. Kennard is out there with Rose. And it's Snell in at the small forward position. Embiid. Here's Simmons. Back to Embiid. Just 5 on the clock. Lets it fly from 18. That shot off. And Detroit the other way now.
Andre Drummond, a prototype athlete at the center position. He checks every box. Leaping ability, lateral mobility, you name it.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Brett Brown coached the Sixers team through some really lean years. Now, the promise started to show last season, but he said, I don't feel close to the notion that we've arrived. I'm hardened, just doing my job and moving forward. Kevin?
And continuing the process, D.A., thanks. And for a man the size of Drummond to move and accelerate, Steve, the way he does, the focus has to be on keeping him healthy.
You know what, Kevin? He's been remarkably durable. Played 81-plus games in 4 out of the last 6 seasons. Last year dropped 30 pounds. He's staying lean and mean.
And the Pistons with possession here. Following the missed shot by Tobias Harris. Here's Rose. An easy 2 points on the layup. Now it's a 3-point Piston lead.
Love the aggressiveness, the tenacity of Derrick Rose. Love driving the basketball into the teeth of the defense.
Simmons inside. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got rebound number 7 for him tonight.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
The kick out to Rose. He feeds it to Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
The power this young man generates at the rim. Drummond is explosive.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Simmons feeling it out a bit. It's in and good for his 6th field goal in 10 attempts.
And really with Simmons, the guy just has everything, including the soft mid-range jump shot.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. And Ben Simmons, who missed the first season in the NBA with an injury, boy, Greg, was he worth the wait.
And you knew he'd be a special kind of player after being taken first overall, but he is so unique in how great of a player he is. His ability to command attention on offense without having a great outside shot really is something you just don't see in today's NBA.
Some changes here for the 76ers. James Ennis, he'll check in for Tobias Harris. Korkmaz comes in for Richardson. And it's Dwight Bikes in for Simmons. Detroit also making some changes. Akers check in for Andre Drummond. Markieff Morris comes in for Blake Griffin. And ABC subbed in for Tony Snell. Here's Embiid. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket.
Love the extra possessions. Defense has them stopped, but can't control the boards.
And so it's Rose who brings the ball up for the Detroit Pistons. They lead by 1. 14 feet away, and he hits the jumper for 2. Rose has got 4 points now in the quarter.
It's nice to see Derrick Rose still continue to work on his jump shot. When he's hitting that, it makes his team all the more dangerous.
Here's Bikes. He's covered by Rose. Bikes, the pass to Horford. Now here's Ennis. Defense right on him. Yep, it goes, and the Piston lead is cut to just 1 on the basket from Joel Embiid.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
And here's Rose. He's got 8. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Steve, now that you've had a little time away from the game as a player, what are some of the things you notice now that maybe you didn't notice when you were playing before?
Well, I think right now the emphasis on nutrition. Kevin, I did not take that serious. I thought I could eat whatever I wanted to. And I think also right now I look and love what is going on technology-wise as far as guys being able to use technology to help their game and to enhance their game.
He misses the free throw.
Derrick Rose, the former Memphis Tiger, has a great combination of speed and athleticism.
And some changes here for the 76ers. Monroe comes in for Embiid, and it's T.J. McConnell in for Al Horford. Reggie Jackson's checked in for Detroit. And he's good on the second. And it's the 76ers with the ball. Now Ennis, still looking for his first bucket in this one. 1:53 left to play here in the third. 6 on the shot clock for the tie. And the shot is long.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Korkmaz grabs the miss. The 76ers trail. Pass to McConnell. Here's Korkmaz, guarded by Jackson. Monroe dishes to Bikes. Pass to Korkmaz. Here's McConnell. Buries the long-range jumper. McConnell's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Pass to Morris. Over Ennis. Morris kicks to Maker. Outside Jackson. This one for 3. And again, it's the Pistons missing. 2 for 1 opportunity here if they want it.
And no doubt, Kevin, if I'm them, I go for
it. To the wing right side. Shot by Ennis. Nobody around. And there's a whistle that goes against Greg Monroe. That's foul number 2 for him. Some changes for Philadelphia. Harris is checked in for James Ennis. Ben Simmons comes in for Korkmaz. And Josh Richardson subbed in for Dwight Bikes. 34 seconds left in the third quarter. Morris outside. Back to Jackson. 5 on the clock. Over Harris. The offensive rebound. And Morris throws it down. Neither side has relented a bit in this back-and-forth affair.
And you can sense the energy in the building already as this game is starting to build towards having a terrific finish.
Here's Monroe. Good work there as it goes. Monroe's got 5 points so far.
He can be masterful in there, especially when there's no rim protection.
We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. 76ers on top, leading by a point. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. And from the most recent huddle, let's listen in on head coach Dwayne Casey.
Possession by possession. It's the only way we're going to get back in this thing. Starting right now, possession by possession. Let's stay together. It's all we got, baby. It's our fight and pride. Right here. Here we go.
We hear it all the time, Greg. One play at a time. That's what he's highlighting now.
And smart that Coach Casey is doing this, realizing that this is the only way they're going to snatch the lead.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. And so in the game for the 76ers, Ben Simmons is out there with Tobias Harris. Then there's Richardson. Then there's Monroe. And it's McConnell in at the point. So it's Philadelphia now. It's a one-point game. Here's Simmons, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And Detroit gets called for the foul.
You gotta admire the hard work by Simmons, a genius at drawing contact.
At the line for your 76ers, Ben Simmons. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one.
And the athleticism that Simmons has is downright unreal. Just a remarkable talent who has the potential to be one of the all-time greats.
And he can't make the second free throw either, missing both. Detroit's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Drummond finds Snell. In the corner, it's Griffin. Launches a 3. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Richardson gets a wide open look. Misses the 3. The Pistons lead it. Griffin passes to Jackson. And the pass to Drummond. Kicks it to Rose. On the wing, Jackson. Just 4 to shoot. Over Richardson. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Now it's a 3-point Piston lead. Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. Monroe, the pass to Simmons. Over Drummond. No good from Simmons.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Here's Jackson. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5 for 8 night shooting.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And the 76ers call time here.
Yeah, you need to refocus now. Momentum is running against you.
And from what I'm seeing, there's too many unfavorable matchups out there on the floor.
Joel Embiid. He's checked in for the 76ers. Horford comes in for T.J. McConnell. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Kennard, he's checked in for Rose. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brett Brown said to his team. He told them, it's time for you to fight to get this lead. Let's bring this one home. Guys, we'll see if they have what it takes to get it done. Back to you.
You have to block out better than that. Drummond, one of the best in the league at converting off the glass.
Now, here's Richardson. He's guarded closely. And Griffin sends it back. He dishes it to Jackson. And that one drops for him.
And you're seeing it with Jackson tonight. When he gets in a real rhythm, man, he can light up the scoreboard.
You know, and Reggie Jackson, a really solid first season and a half in Detroit, but the last 2 seasons, injuries have really held him back.
One shot.
And Reggie Jackson in 2016-17, battling knee tendonitis. Last season, Greg, a severe right ankle sprain.
I mean, he's so important in terms of his impact for the Pistons. An athletic, physical player. When he's right, he can be a difference maker on both ends. And with that one, it ends an 11-0 run by Detroit.
Pistons leading by 8. Third minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Kennard kicks to Griffin. Here's the 3. Sinks the three-pointer.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Embiid. The shot, no good. Good D by Drummond.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
And so the ball is out of bounds. Richardson touched it last. Here's Griffin, and there's another one for the Pistons.
Blake is okay with the catch-and-shoot jump shot, looking comfortable.
The 76ers trail by 13. Simmons finds Embiid. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
How about the concentration? He gets hit but stays with the play and gets the finish.
The free throw drops for Embiid. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for Detroit. They've only given up 5 points here in the fourth quarter. To the paint. It's tipped. It's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here.
Yeah, tremendous hustle just to get a hand on that one.
Reads the play, quick reaction, almost comes up with that steal.
Drummond passes to Kennard. Griffin against Horford. Good work defensively by Horford.
Yeah, the aggressive D inside leads to a missed opportunity there.
You know, he had terrific position, does a good job of affecting the shot without fouling.
And defensively, neither side able to get many stops.
Well, this is when you need them. Late in the game. It's not all about scoring.
Griffin. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
He doesn't let you off the hook, Blake Griffin. He likes to draw contact and usually gets to the free throw line.
Two shots.
It's the first, and that will put them up by 9. Steve, do you think the NBA is heading to a place where ideal lineups will have 5 capable playmakers on the floor, like a more of a positionless game?
Yeah, I think so, Kevin. I think right now teams are trying to find a guy that's 6'7", 6'8", that defensively can play guys that are larger, and then on offensive end, somewhat a la Draymond Green, can run point guard for you. So I think right now that's the size and skill set people are looking forward to.
Wait a minute, you just described yourself.
The only difference was we had guys that was 7'2", 7'3", 350, so I had to play the guard position.
6 on the shot clock. The shot comes out. Good work defensively by Horford. The 76ers trail by 9. Richardson kicks to Horford. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Shoots from the elbow. Embiid, no good. And it's Detroit's ball. They're on a 17-7 run. On the wing, Jackson, guarded by Simmons. Drummond in the post. Embiid's there. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. And the Pistons lead by 11.
Tremendous effort here on the road. That plane ride home is going to be sweet.
They better have some extra goodies on that plane, because after this blowout, they deserve to be rewarded.
Philadelphia, Joel Embiid, 2 shots.
Relax on the first.
First free throw is good, and that brings them to within 10. And the 76ers with some changes. James Ennis, he'll check in for Tobias Harris. Korkmaz comes in for Josh Richardson, and it's Dwight Bikes in for Ben Simmons. So he gets them both. And Detroit has possession. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Bounce pass from Rose. Horford against Morris. Pass to ABC. 6 to shoot. Back to Brown. From deep three-point range, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
Greg Monroe.
Bikes kicks to Embiid. Passes to Bikes. For 3. Nailed from three-point land. And so the Pistons take the win. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you very much, Blake. Another good night of work offensively. How does the team build on this?
Just keep that rhythm. You know, we're not always going to hit shots every night. Some nights the shots aren't going to fall. So just keeping that rhythm, keeping the ball moving, talking on defense, and relying on each other.
Congrats on a great win, Blake. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. Great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. Now for Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA here on 2K Sports. And we'll see you next time.